Welcome to another episode of the Lone Recruiter Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Clemenson, and if you're a recruiter out on your own or just lacking general advice or mentorship, you've come to the right place. Our episodes are designed to give you the motivation, the strategies, and the support you need to become the very best lone recruiter. So join us, grab a cup of coffee, and let's take your desk to another level. Now, today, I just want to ask you a very simple question. Have you ever seen a time traveling film? Because I bet you have, because we've all seen Back to the Future. But what is the number one rule when you go back in time? And if I ask you that, you're going to think, what do you mean what is the number one rule when we go back in time? We all know that there is there's probably two rules. One, don't go and talk to yourself because that would be weird, really bloody weird. But no, the main one is, what do they always warn you about? Do not go back in time and change anything. Don't go back in time and bet on the lottery. Don't go back in time, meet yourself. Don't go back in time and meet family. Don't do anything. Why? Because they always warn us that the smallest, most incremental shift in that timeline will send us on another course, right? You may not be born if you kick a stone incorrectly. You may not be born if you sneeze on a train and someone hears it and then all of a sudden their attention is drawn to you and not that way. That is the fundamental rule of time travel. Now, we haven't actually done time travel yet from what I understand. So hopefully no one's gone and changed our time frames. However, why am I telling you this? Why am I talking about time? Because there is a fundamental flaw in that logic, because too many people, if you come into the present now, too many people that I hear about, speak about through other podcasts, through people you meet, whatever, there's this attitude of, it's only a small thing, it won't matter. It's only a small thing, it won't matter. I would take the logic of time travel. And if we go back in time and we can change one little thing and it can change the entire course of history, why can't we do one little thing today that will change our entire course of history? Let that sink in. Why do we warn people about making a tiny change or making a tiny little impact in the past? We warn people that that's going to fuck everything up today. And what I mean by fuck it up, just change it. Good, bad, the other. Why don't we take that logic to today and say, I can make one tiny change today. One. And it could actually course correct me for the rest of my life. It could actually better my life. Infinitely better. It's a whole butterfly effect, right? Butterfly flaps its wings, it turns into a small ripple on a pond, that small ripple turns to blah, 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 and it gets, before you know it, there's a tsunami. I don't know how logical that is, but I love this time travel analogy. So, if you get anything out of today, it is this. And if you're listening to this podcast, you probably are in the frame of mind of, I can do better, I can do better. One tiny change today, 1 tiny % better today than yesterday is going to change your future. It is going to better you. Your course will be better if you are focusing on taking tiny little incremental steps every single day. Let that sink in, okay? Don't dismiss the small wins. Don't dismiss the small shifts in what you do. Don't dismiss, creating a tiny little better habit, a tiny little efficiency at your desk, a tiny little upskill moment. Don't discount them. They all add up. They all add up to a better outcome for you, okay? I love this analogy, and that's what I want you guys to get out of it today. So with that in mind, it is Monday, okay? It is Monday. We haven't done this for a while. I really want you to plan your desks for a week of success. We're going to do two things. One, we're going to talk about the deals on our desk at the moment. Two, then we're going to, how do we weave in this whole 1% better every day? So first of all, grab a pen, grab a paper. Let's just start at the top of your pipeline and work backwards from there. What do you have to invoice? What do you have to invoice today? Money is king. Is there anyone starting in a job today that you need to go call and say, congratulations, how's your first day? Great, boom, boom, boom. Let's send those invoices out. Let's not be behind on invoices, okay? Nothing worse than doing it a couple of days late and then asking them to pay it sooner. So let's get our invoices out. The second thing is anything in pending. Anything there that you're hoping to get a signature on today. Anything in your pipeline today where you're hoping to get a contract out or an offer out on. They're all in our pendings. Let's focus in on those and let's do the activities on what we need to do on those deals as soon as we can. Now let's start looking at our second interviews. Any second interviews you need to book today. Any second interviews you need to prepare for today, i.e. call a candidate and then walk them through the process, walk them through who they're meeting, make sure that they've got in their head salary expectations, how they're going to handle salary, what are they going to talk about, have they got any good questions. Let's prepare the crap out of our candidates. And on the flip side, let's now take this information, any questions they might have, and let's prepare the shit out of our clients. Clients, I've just spoken to them. They're really pumped to come in. Here's some of the questions they might ask you. Make sure you've got some nice answers for them. What are your answers? Oh, I'd like that. Do you know what they actually like? They liked they like your paternity leave policy. So can you make sure you drop that in? They really liked the way you structure your teams. Can you talk about that? Yada, yada, yada. Prep the candidates, prep the clients. Same for first interviews. Who do we have to book? Do we have to book any first interviews in? Are there any first interviews that we need to squeeze? Did you send CVs out last week? Did you send emails out last week canvassing a candidate to clients and they haven't come back to you yet? Let's go and chase down those interviews, okay? So if you can get first interviews, second interviews, pendings, invoices, all sorted this morning, like first thing you do, right? It sets you up for a great week because you're generating today. That's a great way to generate. Interviews is generating. Simple as that. So if we can get more interviews, let's do it. Now I'm going to get you to look at that and go, which deals are one-on-ones? Which candidate has only got one job? Which job has only got one candidate that they're interviewing for? Okay? And I want you to start building out your week thinking, okay, that job needs to, mostly in the first interview section, that job has one candidate interviewing. I need two more candidates. There's your generation task for the week. And if you've got multiple of those, fine. That's what you have to generate this week. We want to generate to back up these deals because one-on-one placements, you can make them, but they've got such a lower percentage chance of happening than if you have 2 to 3 candidates there. When you've got one candidate, the client's thinking, do I hire this person or do I not? When you've got 2 to 3 candidates, the client's saying, which one of these am I going to hire? Changes their mindset on are they hiring to which one of these are we hiring? So make sure at first interview stage you have 2 to 3 candidates and you've got to make more placements. And there's some stat around it. You get 68% chance more likely to make a deal with multiple options for a client. And the same on the flip side. Multiple options for a candidate. They go from, am I going to leave my job to take this one, to which one of these am I going to take? It's a mind shift, okay? If that's all we focus on for this week, you're making money. If you've got nothing on the go, you've got nothing there, that we've just gone through this whole exercise, you're thinking, I've got donuts, I've got nothing. Fine. We're starting again. Let's go. Where are your jobs? Let's go and chase those people down. Which 2 projects are you going to get done this week? Which 2 jobs are you going to resource for this week? Keep your life simple. The more simple you can keep it, the more effective you'll be and the more results you'll actually get. Less is actually more, in my view, a lot of the time. Perfect. Now bring it back to the time traveler. We're going to, what's that tiny change you can implement today? What's that tiny thing you can do today that you know will make a better outcome for you at your desk, at your life? What is that one thing, right? And it can be as tiny as not eating a biscuit at supper. It could be as simple as, I know that 4 coffees is terrible for me. I'm only going to have 3 today. That's positive. That is useful because you're not having these crashes later in the day. You're not getting jittery. You're going to have a better night's sleep and then you're going to be better tomorrow. See? So think of one tiny thing that you could do that it could improve your tomorrow, okay? Maybe it's sending 10 more emails out that you normally do because you want to generate a bit more. Maybe it's, maybe it's making a couple of extra phone calls today than you normally would. Just 1 to 2 more. Let's just do some tiny changes today that will make an impact tomorrow. And we keep doing that. We keep doing that. And we keep doing that. Before you know it, boom, we're doing way better. That's all I have time for you today. If you've got anything out of today's episode, please like, share, subscribe. Really helps us grow. As always, have an amazing day and may all your deals come true.